Deadline reported last Thursday, a mere 2 days after our campaigning for coin piece on Julianne Moore was published, they posted an exclusive, and I will read it. As The Hunger Games moves into the final 2 movies culled from the Suzanne Collins novel Mockingjay, I've heard that Lionsgate and director Francis Lawrence are eyeing Julianne Moore to play the role of President Alma Coin. And this same story was later backed up by The Hollywood Reporter, and The Hollywood Reporter actually added that she is in early talks. So, who knows if any of this is true or not. We don't need to remind everyone of the John C. Reilly rumor. I think we did that last week already.
We did.
And, yeah, I mean, John C. Reilly, everyone thought he had been cast as Haymitch. Like, it was basically almost confirmed everywhere online. And, later we learned he was not even up for the part. So the Julianne Moore thing could be total hogwash, but it could also be real. So, does anyone want to weigh in who hasn't weighed in already? Tiffany, do you have any thoughts on Julianne Moore? I know you mentioned her in your piece on Victor's Village.
Yes. For one, I thought it was hilarious when I read it. I was on break at work just checking Twitter, and I saw it, and I had to, look again because we had just done it, and I thought it was someone, reposting or, going in case you missed it, we talked about Julianne Moore, but then I read it and was like, wait, this is an actual rumor from Deadline, which is they're pretty reliable. And then the Hollywood Reporter, who's had an even better track record for being reliable with casting rumors. So I just thought it was hilarious, and I laughed out loud, and people at work were like, "What is going on?" But I think it's a great choice if that happens. And she has worked with she's worked with Josh, she's worked with Woody Harrelson, I think. I don't remember. Several people she's worked with that are in the Hunger Games. So I'm excited if that is true, but I'm not taking it as fact yet.
My reaction was one of total confusion, because I remember I hadn't been at my computer at all, and then I checked my email on my phone, and there were these emails, I think from Crystal and a couple other people talking about Julianne Moore and how at least we got to her in the campaigning for Coin series before it was official. And I was like, what the heck are they talking about? And then I went online and saw it, and then I just laughed like you did because it was so funny. Any other thoughts on this? Ariel, are you a Julianne Moore fan? Do you think she could be an excellent Coin?
I think that she actually could be. I really like her as an actor. I've met her a couple of times, and I like her from when I've met her. Really kind, and she's just as beautiful up close, which is pretty awesome. And I think she'll do a fine job. I mean, she's not my first choice, but I think she'd be well as Coin.
Did you meet her because of her work or her book, her children's book?
Yes.
Yeah, if you didn't know this, she wrote a children's book. Is it Strawberry Freckle Face is what it's called?
Yep.
And it was also turned into either a play or a musical. I don't know if it was a play or a musical. Do you know?
No, I don't.
But what you said about her being just as beautiful in person, that's probably my one. I mean, she's not my. First of all, I have to say I love Julianne Moore. I think she's so talented. I guess my one reservation would be that she, to me, is so beautiful that part of me is almost like she's too beautiful for Coin. But I mean, you can downplay that in a movie, absolutely. And I mean, the book doesn't say that Coin is the book doesn't specify if she's beautiful or not, so it really doesn't matter. But I'm just kind of thinking about my personal vision of Coin. But I was looking for pictures of her to post with the article, and I was trying to find coin-esque pictures, and I just kept scrolling through Google image search and just thinking to myself, like, oh my God, Julianne Moore is so beautiful. Like, all of these pictures, she's just too pretty to be coin. But I'm not going to use that as like a knock against her or a mark against her. People said that about Jennifer Lawrence for Katniss, if you'll recall. Any other thoughts?
Charlize Theron is considered one of the most beautiful women in the world, and they made her look pretty bad in Monster. So if you're ever concerned about someone looking too pretty, makeup goes both ways. It doesn't just make people look better. Keep that in mind.
And I mean, it's not just the looks, though. I mean, it's voice, too. Julianne Moore has a very kind of, like, soft, kind of nice kind of voice to me. And I can't really hear her speaking as coin, you know. I mean, like with Charlize Theron, if you saw Prometheus, she played a pretty cold, hard kind of person. And so, I mean, I could see her as coin as well. And, yeah, I do think she's pretty, but she also has, like, this kind of vicious look to her. And I just don't really see any viciousness in Julianne Moore. And, like, from looking through the net, I mean, we have, like, a staff of, like, I don't know, 10 people, and I couldn't get anybody to do it. And so it was up to me, and I just didn't want to do it because I could not see her as coin, so I didn't do it. So we didn't even post one. So, I don't know, I think maybe either our staff was just too busy or, like, none of us like her as a casting choice. I don't know.
You know, I don't necessarily think she'd be the most interesting choice. I feel like they could probably find someone who would be a bit more, I don't know, my thing is I really love, like, unexpected casting choices, and I kind of feel like Julianne Moore is someone who, I don't know, she's someone who I think a lot of people would say, like, oh, she could play coin. I don't know, but like I said, I mean, I love her, and I'm not going to dismiss her just because, you know, I think she's too beautiful, or, you know, I haven't seen her in any kind of coin-esque roles. You know, I don't want to judge an actor based on what I haven't seen from them, because that's really unfair. But she's not my top choice. But you know, I don't know. I like her. So, do you think that if she
closest top role that I can picture her from is Children of Men? Do you remember her in that?
Yes.
Yeah, so that would be the closest performance that I could draw, like, parallels to, I guess.
Yeah, that's actually a really good example. For some reason, I always forget that she is in that movie. Adam mentioned that movie to me, too, and I never remember that Julianne Moore is in it. I also haven't seen it.
Yeah, in fact, I even, that was my main selling point. I'm pulling it up here. When I wrote the campaigning for Coin about Julianne Moore, I said, Moore is famous recently for The Kids Are All Right and Game Change, but I see a parallel with her role as a blood-to-the-bone revolutionary in Children of Men. There, she was good, but she had some of the same character traits as Coin, and she proved plenty competent in handling them. So I really think that even though one character is a lot better than the other, the general persona was kind of similar, and if she plays that character, I think that could be a really powerful coin.
And she would be good in the sense that for audience members who have not read the book, she would be good at convincing them, I think, that, you know, everything is wonderful and she is totally not this ruthless, duplicitous person. Because, yeah, I don't think people would expect that of Julianne Moore, which maybe means that this would be an unexpected choice, so I should like it since it is maybe more unexpected than I think it is. I really don't know what I'm saying right now, but, and do you think, okay,
I know what you're saying.
I'm really, like, all over the place tonight. Do you guys think that they would dye her hair or give her a wig, or do you think they would leave her hair red? I'm trying to picture her with gray hair, and it just doesn't look right.
I bet they'd leave it.
Don't they all wear gray clothes in District 13? I kind of thought that her gray hair kind of completed her District 13 look.
Yeah, I think that she would look pretty weird, and that might help with her looking kind and sweet if she had, like, creepy gray hair. I think it would look awesome if they dyed it.
Yeah, I can't even. I'm trying to picture it, and I can't, but I think it would be interesting.
I'm sure they'll try it, like, whoever they cast. They always seem to try, like, what the book says, and then usually that doesn't work visually, so they have to come up with something else.
I don't know. I think Jessica Tuck's really good in gray hair.
Oh, my gosh. Crystal, you should email Francis Lawrence or tweet him, except he hasn't been on Twitter in like a year. If you guys are listening, don't know this, Francis Lawrence does have a Twitter account, but he does not ever use it. But it's Hibbits, H-I-B as in boy, another B as in boy, I-T-S as in snow. But yeah, I don't know what Hibbits means, but maybe we should, if we have a chance to meet him in LA, we can say, what does Hibbits mean? I'm gonna try to remember that. Okay. Any other thoughts on Julianne Moore? Hobbits. Maybe he wanted to do Hobbits but misspelled it.
That's funny.
Okay. Let me read. I'll read 2 comments about Julianne Moore. This is from Mel Callie. As much as I love the thought of Julianne Moore or Kate Blanchett, she's the one who went on to mention Viola Davis. Let's see if anyone else mentioned Julianne Moore. This is from MSE again. I'm very excited about the Julianne Moore rumors. She's an extremely versatile actress who I believe could morph all the different sides of coin into one single complex character with ease. And even if she doesn't end up with the part, I still have faith that Lionsgate will manage to find someone of the same caliber as her who can fully flesh this character out on screen. And this is from JJ. I love the rumor that Julianne Moore is in talks to play Coin. I hope Lionsgate can sign her. I have no doubt that she could look the part and, more importantly, play the part. Would be another great casting win.